Guy's on that hill. Spears is hiding in a freaking bush.
Lately, I've been producing my streams on a relatively new platform known as Beam. I feel like at this point, if you're involved in gaming at more than a passive degree, you've heard of this platform, so I will skip the basic introductions to what Beam is and just discuss some of the key differences between Beam and Twitch that I've noticed to be points of emphasis. Although Beam is somewhat a Twitch clone in that they both provide a place for gamers and entertainers to stream their live gameplay to the masses, their end goals for the audience and producer are aimed in a different direction. Twitch and other third-party publishers offer programs and add-ons for streamers to help with their viewer interaction. This is just a generalized opinion from what I've seen a majority of Twitch streamers I've watched producing, but the tools used in most cases seem to be focused on the streamer's ability to produce a stream with electronic versions of glitter and rainbows to make their production more dazzling to look at and less focused on the entertainment value itself. To separate themselves, Beam is a community-driven streaming service that focuses on delivering a deeper interaction between the entertainer and their audience. For starters, Beam offers everyone their own built-in currency called Sparks. These are obtained by members through watching streams and streaming on the platform themselves. Simple plug-and-play add-ons like Soundwave, where a viewer can spend their Sparks during a streamer's production to play funny or obnoxious sounds during the stream, add an interactive feel to make the viewer feel more like they are part of the broadcast as opposed to just a viewer or supporter. This is an extremely simple addition to a streamer's broadcast, but it is incredible how much I see these used by viewers. It truly can become a part of your broadcast and allows for fun breaks in the silence, and can honestly be used to keep your streams fun when maybe the game or the production is running a little dry. Beam is also offering a concept where viewers can interact in the gameplay itself, but since I've not used this extensively, I can't speak much on the subject. The idea is cool, and I know the Beam staff is working very hard at developing this to be a more useful feature, but at the time of this video, I don't see it as a selling point to drive me towards Beam over Twitch, and I don't think it's been developed enough to help encourage you to go one direction or the other, so we'll kind of leave that as just a initial feature, but no real determining factor at this point in time. The truth is, if you're looking purely from a standpoint of which platform is better aesthetically, as well as from an interactive perspective, Beam is the hands-down winner in my book. The overall website experience on the website is more casual and relaxed on Beam, and the streamers themselves seem more at ease when they're live. It's more of a friendly atmosphere where it's chatting and hanging with friends. To sum it up into one word, I'd say the Beam experience is more personal than the typical experience on Twitch, which in my opinion seems to be more business-like or more like I'm watching a television or movie production as opposed to more of just a relaxed hang out with your friends type feel. This isn't a dig at Twitch or Twitch producers because I know several streamers on that platform that do a great job of creating the friendly, relaxed atmosphere for their streams as well. It's just my observation about the feel of the platforms as a whole and in general, and what the objective seems to be from my perspective. The big question here that everyone has to ask is, which is the best for me as a streamer? The answer to that question comes down to what you want out of your streaming experience. If you want to chat and interact with your viewers, this can be done on both platforms. Beam just offers more tools to help with that interaction at this time. In my experience, it has been easier to build a consistent viewership and community around what I produce on Beam in a shorter amount of time. If you want to produce your stream to the biggest potential audience, however, the numbers don't lie. Twitch is the place to go. There's no denying that Twitch has become a household name, and even extremely casual gaming fans will watch something on Twitch from time to time. With some streamers having follower counts in the millions, it's hard to deny the potential for being the next great media producer that Twitch can provide compared to the relatively low viewership on Beam in its current state and at this time. One small note about viewership and growth potential is that Beam recently launched an application on the Xbox One platform, and this has produced a large influx of viewership on Beam. I myself, even as a small streamer on Beam, have had several new consistent viewers come into my streams while viewing on the Xbox One console. I hear streamers and media producers in general say often, "I don't do it for the money," or other forms of that statement. It's a noble thing to say, but let's be honest here. Most everyone who streams, does YouTube, or any other kind of content creation has dreams of making a living off of their productions. Perhaps you didn't think about it when you got started, but with how publicized it is nowadays that there are many people making a substantial income from their media production, it's hard to deny that's not a potential factor down the road. Producing high quality media can cost major money. So in the end, donations and eventually subscribers will be necessary to continue putting the resources into what you are producing. Otherwise, it's going to be a massive time and money consuming boat with a hole the size of Delaware in the bottom. This is where the big deciding factor for most of you will be between Beam and Twitch. At the time of this video, Beam is still a small service. They offer partnerships where viewers can subscribe and people can donate to their favorite streamers just like Twitch. But with top viewership on the most popular channels of Beam being in the low to mid hundreds on a typical day, earning a substantial living through Beam is still a pretty hefty amount of time away. Income to purchase hardware, production upgrades, or just fun money is definitely possible with where Beam is currently, but unless you can live off of less than minimum wage, odds are you're not going to be leaving your job anytime soon. Twitch, on the other hand, has that potential today. Perhaps I don't have that potential on Twitch myself today or even this decade, but there have been a few channels skyrocket on Twitch in recent months to earning substantial and extreme cases life-changing income from donations and subscribers. The viewership on Twitch can support this possibility for multiple people and is continuing to grow on virtually a daily basis. One thing to note here for those of you who might be kind of on the fence, there are services out there that allow dual streaming on both websites, and honestly at this time, that's what I'm doing. I like both platforms and have intentions for both, but if I was forced to choose only one for myself today, it would have to be Beam. This would be strictly based on the fact that as a small streamer, it's easier to build a community around what I'm building and doing with my production without being buried under the other thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of streamers on Twitch. One other small note I do want to make is that Beam is still in beta form at this time. So I highly suggest if you're considering making a switch over to Beam from Twitch or starting from scratch, I highly suggest you test the waters before diving in if you're considering making the move. There are some small issues as expected with a beta, and some occasional hiccups occur with quality, lag, etc. These are improving quickly, but they're still there, and it would be unfair for me not to mention this as it is a factor for myself in my decision to continue dual streaming until a stable version of Beam is there. If you have any questions about Beam, streaming, or anything else, you can follow me on Twitter at Claytomus, or you can join my Discord channel. The links will be below in the description box for all these ways you can contact me, or you can just comment below and I will try my best to answer the question right here on YouTube. As always, thank you for watching. Your support and viewership are greatly appreciated.